Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto. I'm a photographer. In this video I'm going to share 4 reasons why I shoot more and more film these days. Film versus digital. It's a very popular topic even here on YouTube, at least on my YouTube feed. There are so many videos talking about the upsides and downsides of both and which is better. But of course, digital is better by most metrics and by most numbers. Digital offers more sharpness, more detail, superior dynamic range, and endless post-processing possibilities. And it's also super convenient. But there are still so many people who choose to shoot film even in 2025 when we have the most capable digital cameras in our hands. There are so many young people who have never experienced film when it was the only option or the mainstream option for photography. And for them it can't be any kind of yearning for the past or yearning for nostalgia because they never experienced film when it was the only option. Maybe they were even not born when film was the only option. Then there are people like me who learned photography with film because there were no other options back then. Then we switched to digital at some point, in my case in 1999, and now after shooting digital for many years, we have found film photography again and have started shooting more film. In my case, it happened about 5 years ago when I started considering film again. Before that, I thought film absolutely makes no sense. I have to say though that one reason that made me consider film again was that I quit all my commercial work. If I was still shooting commercial assignments, I'd never shoot film for that. For paid commercial work, film, in my opinion, absolutely makes no sense. Unless the assignments you do are somehow super specialized. In those cases, film might make sense or might even be the best choice. Of course, film is never going to be mainstream again, it's never going to surpass digital, but it's getting more and more popular anyway, so there must be something in film photography that attracts people, young and old people like myself. And now I'm going to share 4 reasons why I choose to shoot more and more film. Of course, I still shoot digital, also more digital than film. Here is my reason number 1. Back to basics. Film photography is incredibly simple. The cameras are super simple. You only have 2 settings, shutter speed and aperture, nothing else. No menus and no complicated setups or settings. For example, YouTube is full of all kinds of tutorials for different cameras and camera models on how to set them up and how to configure the camera. But with film cameras there are no complicated settings like that. It's so easy and simple. You can fully 100% concentrate on the light, subject, composition and timing. Nothing else, no other distractions like you can have with a complicated digital camera. Also, there is no AI or computational photography involved. So once you have loaded your favorite film, that pretty much determines what you're going to get. Sometimes with a digital camera, you don't even know what the camera did or how it processed the picture even before you see it for the first time. Reason number 2. Film photography and film cameras, they make you think before you press the shutter. First off, you have only a very limited amount of frames. Unlike with a digital camera, you pretty much have unlimited amount of frames, and that can make you a little bit lazy. You can just point and shoot and take as many pictures as you want. And you don't necessarily pay so much attention to each and every frame because you can take as many as you want or like. With a film camera, you loaded a certain film into your camera and you're pretty much stuck to that film until you have finished that particular roll. And that particular film may not be suitable for all kinds of situations. The other day, I had my camera loaded with ISO 100 film, and obviously that film is not great for handheld, low light or interior shots. So I had to look for certain suitable situations and scenes for that particular film, and I think that kind of a process makes me more creative. The closest comparison I can think of with a digital camera is that you choose a certain preset or a film simulation or whatever it is called on your camera, then you fix your ISO, and then you only look for situations or scenes suitable for that particular photo style or film simulation and your chosen ISO setting. It's still not the same as shooting film, but that's the closest I can think you can come up with a digital camera. Reason number 3, film looks great. As a matter of fact, it looks so great and awesome that thousands and thousands of digital photographers are desperately trying to achieve certain type of film look with their digital cameras. There are so many tutorials here on YouTube on how to create some sort of film look with certain digital cameras. However, if you shoot film, there's no need for those tutorials, there's no need for complicated camera settings or complicated post-processing workflows, because you'll get that awesome film look straight from the camera. It is as simple as that. I suppose one reason why even digital shooters find the film look, whatever it means on digital, so appealing is that some of us are a little bit like fed up or bored with the overly clean look of the best digital pictures, or pretty much every picture that comes from modern digital cameras. The pictures are so clean, so sharp, crisp and lifelike that it can be boring. And we are looking for something a little bit less perfect, even if we shoot on digital cameras. And film is far from perfect. The dynamic range is limited compared to digital, very limited. There is grain and it's not always sharp because you are probably shooting on manual focus cameras. But all those imperfections add to the appeal of film. Besides, who said that photographs have to look super clean, super sharp, super detailed? Reason number 4. Film photography is not driven by convenience. You really have to work up every picture. You have to think before you press the shutter. And that makes each and every frame more valuable and more important. You can't simply spray and pray aimlessly all over the place like you can with a digital camera. With a digital camera, we pretty much have unlimited amount of pictures, unlimited amount of photography at our disposal. And whenever there is unlimited supply of something, that something tends to become less valuable and we take it for granted. And that's exactly what has happened with photography, with digital cameras. Each and every picture is not precious anymore because we can take as many as we want. And nobody cares about pictures anymore because they are all over the place. There are millions and zillions of pictures uploaded on social media every day. But who wants to look at all of them? Who has time to look at all of those zillions and zillions of pictures? Who says you have to take 5,000 vacation pictures? Isn't it better to take 50 or 100 really memorable ones? Today we all want instant gratification. We want everything right now. But if photography is your hobby or pastime activity, why not embrace the learning process instead of convenience? At least for me, it's incredibly rewarding if I realize that I learned something new today. I don't think any great photographer or a great artist has ever been driven by convenience. I think they put a lot of time and effort and pain to achieve what they achieved in their art or craft. Had they been driven by convenience, I don't think they would ever have achieved what they achieved. People often say these days that film is so expensive. And it kind of is, but there are so many other hobbies that are much more expensive than film photography. How much is one roll of black and white film, for example? You drink a couple of pints of beer, it's probably about the same amount as one roll of film. You drink 3-4 lattes or cappuccinos in a cafe, it's probably the same cost. So I don't think it's not that bad after all if you compare it to some other activities or things you do on a regular basis. For many people in the past, film photography was shooting a roll of color film, dropping off the film at the local lab or supermarket, and then 2 days later pick up the prints, those tiny little 10 by 15 centimeter prints. And of course, if you did it like that, it was probably not the best or the most satisfying photography experience. The whole film photography experience is at its best when you have the full workflow in your own hands. You first shoot the film, you develop the film, and then you either make prints or scan the negatives so you can share them wherever you want to share them. You often also hear the argument against film that film pictures get digitized anyway, so you might as well shoot on a digital camera right from the start. However, that argument, in my opinion, is not valid at all, because digitizing is one option and mandatory option, of course, if you want to share your pictures on any social media platform or here on YouTube, for example. You simply have to digitize your pictures, and the only way to see non-digitized film pictures is to go to a gallery, to an exhibition, and see the prints on the wall, prints that are made in a traditional darkroom. Now, am I suggesting that we all should start shooting film and only film? No, not at all. I'm just saying that now in 2025 and in the future, film is a really awesome option, and what makes it probably more fun than ever is that it is an option. If one day you don't feel like shooting film, you pick up your digital camera and use that. That's what I do. I don't feel like shooting film every day, and on those days I pick up my digital camera. There you have it, my 4 reasons to shoot more and more film, and I'd like to hear your film photography experiences. Please do share them in the comments down below. However, in the end, it's all photography. It does not matter whether you shoot film or whether you shoot digital. Whether your photography is driven by convenience or the love of craftsmanship, the only thing that matters is that you're enjoying your photography and you're having a bit of fun while taking your pictures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon in the next one. Bye bye.